Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Last time around, we had The Visitor Part 2. I guess there's not really any point in recapping. A lot of things happened that turned out to be just a dream. The jury is now out again on what John Gallier's stand is, so... Yeah, I don't know. But there's a lot of goo going around. And he may or may not still be a sniper. I guess we're not quite sure about that, but I don't know. Anyway, Jolene's trying to wake up Jotaro. And that's pretty much where we left off. So, like always, the reaction is down in the description and the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and jump right into this episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Here we go. So we've got a new Diavolo situation going on. We have a new Diavolo, basically. It's pretty early for that, I gotta say. We're only 5 episodes in. Assuming this guy is the main villain? I mean, a guy who can best Jotaro Kujo, I feel like has to be the villain. But yeah, but his stand... Pale Snake it's some sort of a goo that can give somebody hallucinations and then can materialize a CD in the person and then potentially take their soul, and in this case... their stand. And Jotaro got 2 CDs. He got one of himself and one of Star Platinum. This does not mean that Jotaro is dead. He could remain alive. I'm assuming the submarine is going to use all the Speedwagon power to keep his body alive. You know what? I would call Josuke. And fly him in to keep his body alive. And Jolene has to stay behind now in order to retrieve Star Platinum. But that's what Pale Snake does. Hallucinations, goo, and CDs. CDs nuts? I don't know. That's a very specific, weird power. I will say, if this is the main villain, I mean, we don't know really what this power is, but... so long as it's not strictly a time stand, like, it's already not. It's already something different, even if it gets a time thing later. It's already something different, which is good. That was my biggest complaint with Diavolo, is just, oh, he's just Dio again, you know? All he has is a time power, whereas I liked Kira because he had explosions. But this is more... I mean, I guess it's sort of the Darby brothers. It's the Darby brothers. He can take a soul, except instead of putting a soul into a poker chip or into a doll, it's a CD. Okay. Man, I was concerned because I was thinking, like, man, I hope this isn't just the end of Jotaro, you know? It's like, you can't just kill Jotaro like that, you know? You gotta build it up a bit, you know? But, I mean, if it's the main villain... But see, that's the thing, is that if it is, you know, the main villain, I guess Jotaro's death is similar to the Bucciarati death. Bucciarati death, but you know. But I guess it's similar to Bucciarati versus King Crimson, you know? And I'm presuming because I think Jotaro told Jolene about John Gallier being a follower of Dio. I assume this guy is too. I assume this guy is also a follower of Dio. Which makes sense, I guess. Okay, well, at least that helps with last episode where I was like, I have no idea what John Gallier's stand is. Now we know. That was actually his stand. It's just that we were dealing with two enemies. This guy, Pale Snake, who basically gives you hallucinations, but also can take a CD out of your head. Other stuff this episode, I mean, kind of the biggest thing for me was, the idea of Jotaro being, a caring father, but I like the sort of, for lack of a better word, the roundabout way of doing it, where I like that moment where, he kind of extends his hand and Jolene gets all blushy about it. And it's kind of weird, but at the same time, it's help. It's, it's her father reaching out for the first time, He was such a distant father, that she appreciates him reaching out like that. But then it's, you gotta hold on to this pendant, And so that pisses her off. But then, the reveal that it's like, well, no, you need to keep the pendant because that will get you to the Speedwagon Foundation, and that'll keep you safe. They're there to keep you safe. It's amazing. It's the thing that for 140 years or so, 130 years, this Speedwagon has been helping the Joestar family, for over 100 years, and yeah, it's still technically there, even though Speedwagon himself, I'm trying to come up with a full name. Robert Edwin Orion Speedwagon. I meant to say Edward. I ended up with Edwin. I don't know how that happened, but Robert Edwin Orion Speedwagon is the name that I've come up with. But Robert E.O. Speedwagon, he's always been there. Even though he died decades ago, he's still kicking. He's still around in spirit, helping the Joestar family, And I like that moment where Jolene realizes that, and it's like, yeah, your father does care about you. And yeah, even though, I get what they were going for, at the same time, it's like, come on, dude, yeah, when she got this, bad rap, basically, where she was gonna go to jail for a bit, or juvie, I guess, and Jotaro was, he's going off to Tokyo, but to him, she didn't need him. What was he going to do? She still doesn't need him, He's only showing up now because she just got her stand recently, So that's, this is the only bit of help that she really needs. And even then, she is immensely clever, She is immensely clever and was able to defeat John Gallier pretty easily by just guiding his bullets away with her string. I love the way they use that string. It's so good. Man, that if Joseph Joestar was young and had Hermit Purple, he'd be pulling the exact same crap all the friggin' time. Jolene, I feel kind of is the Joseph, the mixed Joseph I never got, She's a mix of part 2 young Joseph and part 3 Joseph with a stand, So I do really enjoy that about Jolene, and honestly, Stone Ocean feels like, hey, let's revisit Hermit Purple, even without the divination powers. Let's revisit Hermit Purple and draw new ideas out of that. And I like that idea, It's such, it's so much less complicated than the past two protagonist stands. Even though I like Shining Diamond and Golden Wind, Stone Ocean is just really nice to have, you know? But yeah. But again, I love those moments of Jotaro being a father. And yeah, when he says, hey, you've got a good head on your shoulders. You're a Joestar through and through. You don't need me. That was good. And yeah, that would be a good point for a death. But if they can keep his body alive, which I mean, again, the Speedwagon Foundation should be able to do that. And he was able to talk even after losing Star Platinum. So hopefully they can keep him alive long enough for Jolene to save Star Platinum, basically. So that's an interesting idea, you know? That's an interesting idea. Because I will say, it's one good thing with JoJo is you pretty much at the beginning, you always carve out, like, okay, here's what we're doing this part, you know? And right now, you know, because it's kind of a mix of like, well, we've got Jolene, she's going to this prison. Is she going to break out of this prison? We're not really sure yet. She's trying to understand her stand. You know, we have this whole thing with Jotaro. And now it's like, okay, we have a goal. We have to get back Jotaro's soul, basically. Get back Star Platinum. Defeat this guy. Escape from prison. Okay, now is that going to last the whole show? I don't know. That might not be, you know, the entire season's worth of plot, but I think that's what we've got right now. That's our immediate plot, and I enjoy that, you know? It's the same thing of, you know, in part 5, we had the overarching plot of taking down the boss and taking over the Passione, but in that first half, the main concern was defeating the Hitman team and protecting Trish, you know? So this is a very similar sort of thing. So I like that. And yeah. And Pale Snake is interesting. I like the design. The design is really cool, and CDs, weird but interesting. And now, because I noticed the CDs that are in the intro that we've had for 4 episodes now, and so that's what kind of makes me think like this is our main guy. It's very early to be giving us our main villain, but I'm okay with that. It's an interesting idea. Honestly, I'm so curious where this part is going to go, because I think we're going to get really, really interesting stuff this time. Not that we haven't previously. Part 5 was really, really great, but I just see so much potential in Part 6 now that it's like, I really want it to live up to it. And according to you guys, it will, but we'll have to see. We will have to see. But yeah, that is pretty much it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist for all of my JoJo's Bizarre Adventure reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.